Okay, so I've decided to shoot my first YouTube video, which is going to be a teardown of the Nokē lock. One of the basic features of it is that it is a Bluetooth lock. So I have this one, which is the original one I purchased. It doesn't always work, so I'm going to tear this one down. I did get a warranty replacement of this one. So this one has, there's three ways to unlock these. One is a simple, this one's set for the two-step method where I have to hit the shackle to release it. This one is set for just a simple one step, which is now I pushed it, it's unlocked, no playing with the, so that is why that one's good. When this one, when I pushed it back in, it did not relock, so that's one of the reasons this one got replaced. So like I said, there's also a third way, which is you don't have your phone. This is what they call a, so it has you can set a code of short and long presses. This, like I said, this thing does not work. That is why it. So I'm going to try to unlock it with the app, and we can start. So here, one of the nice features of these are that they have a battery backup, or they call it a jump start feature on them. So first thing, you just take a screwdriver or a coin, and then you stick the new CR30 2032 that you're going to stick in it and into the slot, and that powers it where you could take a completely dead lock out. So the battery lives in the battery compartment on the back. You have an aluminum back plate, which this pin sits into the lock, and it sits into this slot, and if you look, the shackle protrudes into that passage, and when this is locked, it prevents this from turning, which is the only way to release it. Uses with like a 30-second, like a quarter of an inch turn. So it goes from here to here, and that releases it. But like I said, without the with the lock locked, it cannot be released. So let me get my iFixit kit out, and we will see what's inside this. iFixit kits are one of the better investments. This is the older of the Pro Tool kits. There's a new one where they have updated the bit holder, so I think this is not good. These screws are being a little difficult, so I will switch this over to the little torque version, so you get a little more torque on the screws. I think this one is loose enough. And then we just sheesh. I don't know how long these screws are. I have a power drill sitting right next to me. Of course, no. Let's see, I have a regular, don't know. Oh, crud. Don't think I have the proper Phillips bit in this, which is my Milwaukee M12 impact. If I do, so there's one. 2, and 3. That releases the little battery holder. It also releases the front plate, which, if you notice, on both halves have rubber seals on them. So this is I do believe water resistant. I'm not entirely I don't remember if it said it was waterproof or water resistant. I might annotate this later if I see that. I would assume it's at least water resistant. Not many things are truly waterproof. So let's see. So now we are removing the main board. From this device. Okay, so we have the main board, the screws for the main board. Let's just pry that out. It does appear to have adhesive. Okay, so we have this power lead runs, this is the lead that runs up to the back for power, and this one is labeled for motor control. This has a little daughter board hanging off of it, which has a small switch, which from where it sits, I believe yes, you can see that that is the lets the system know that it's locked or not. You have a capacitor, the Bluetooth antenna, an LED, and then the chip on board, which is, let me see, is an N52832. It does appear that there is a second LED which is not visible when it's installed, so must be something left from diagnostics. So now we are going to get down to the mechanical portion of this lock. Let's see, there's 4 more screws. We are going to unscrew the rest of it, and here. Now we have access to, this panel comes off. To the locking mechanism, which, as you can see, employs just a small, what's normally a little like vibrator motor, which actuates this piece that, if you can see that, it forces a steel ball bearing into the nub on the shackle, into a slot on the shackle that holds it shut. So this one is not going to be is not shimmable. Given the fact that it uses a steel ball bearing in this mechanism along with the lock, brute force may not be out of the realm of possibility, given the fact that this is a non-geared motor. There's no nothing keeping this from turning. When it's not powered, it's dead. But the way this is weighted, it wants to stay in a locked mode, but if there's no real motor power, it does appear that it will easily turn, releasing the ball bearing. So we have that, and the shackle does appear to be pinned in place. So I don't know how hard that would be to remove. Let's see, let me set down dropper ball bearing and that. Does this one too? That may be hydraulically pushed in, so that may not be going anywhere anytime soon. So this is, of course, the battery holder. There should be insulator, plastic around the base, and it does appear that there is epoxy in that portion. So it appears that the power cord comes off the bottom of this board. Let's pry that. Oh, that is the backup battery attachment. So that is sealed from preventing water ingress with whatever sealant is around here, but there is also epoxy on the back of it, so it does appear that it will not, again, this is probably water resistant. I don't know that there are any O-rings here or any seals around the base of the shackle, so like I said, it may not be it's probably not waterproof, it may be water resistant. There's a spring and the metal plate to hold down. Thank you, and like and subscribe.